He told us, and they laughed at him. President Trump warned us this day would come. The day America's borders would collapse from within, not just through policy failures, not just through weakness in Washington, D.C., but through foreign interference, economic sabotage, and coordinated lawlessness. And now it's here, guys. Right now, the streets of Los Angeles, one of America's largest cities, are in total free fall. Entire blocks have been overrun, cars torched, police officers assaulted, businesses destroyed. And the media, they're calling it mostly peaceful again. But this time, it's different because we finally know who's behind it. The president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, isn't just watching the chaos unfold. She's endorsing it. She's applauding it and fueling it. As American families hide in their homes, she's praising illegal alien rioters for standing up for their rights. Meanwhile, waving Mexican flags and burning our cars. So it's not a protest. This isn't outrage. This is an invasion. And it's even being funded, encouraged, and even weaponized by a foreign government. So guys, while Biden would have hidden behind a podium and mumbled about equity, President Trump, he ain't hiding. He's taking action. He's bringing in the National Guard. He's enforcing the immigration laws that Democrats have ignored for decades. And get this, guys, his new remittance tax, the new remittance tax could cut off billions in cartel cash and migrant payouts headed straight to Mexico. And that's why they're panicking, guys. But there's more. Because when when Governor Ron DeSantis saw the footage, illegal aliens riding motorcycles through burning streets, flying the Mexican flag, Ron DeSantis didn't just speak up. He declared it exactly what it is: a direct attack on American soil. And the people responsible must be held accountable. So you're going to see how California's sanctuary policies gave birth to this crisis. Mexico profits by keeping our border wide open, why President Trump's plan to tax remittances could cripple their economy. The proof that Claudia Sheinbaum is now acting like a foreign enemy, not an ally, and why Ron DeSantis calling this an invasion might be the most important political moment of 2025, guys. This is not just another riot. It's not a random outburst. It's a warning shot for what's coming next. And if President Trump doesn't act right now, if we don't stand behind him and demand action, then this invasion will not stop in Los Angeles. It's going to spread to Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, Phoenix, your city, your neighborhood. So what I'm about to share with you guys is not just disturbing. It proves that everything Trump warned us about is real. And the enemies, they're not hiding anymore. So stick with me, guys, because what's happening next, they never wanted you to see this. So now I want to talk about what's really happening in Los Angeles, because the media is clearly lying to you. This is not just some isolated protest gone wrong. This is a war zone. For over 5 nights straight, Los Angeles has been under siege, businesses looted, patrol cars set on fire, police officers injured, entire neighborhoods getting ransacked. One police commander described the scene as an uncontrollable mob rule. And guess who's in the middle of this, actually? Thousands of illegal aliens, not American citizens, not concerned locals, illegal immigrants, some of whom just arrived here in the last few months. And they're not waving stars and stripes flags, folks. They're waving the Mexican flag, riding motorcycles through the ashes of American businesses like it's some kind of a victory parade. Let me ask you this. If someone burns down your house while waving a foreign flag, is that a protest or is that an invasion? Because it sure looks like an invasion to me. But here's the part that really makes this even more chilling. President Trump did warn us about this. He warned us. He told us that this would happen over and over and over again for years. He told us that the border wasn't just broken, it was being deliberately sabotaged. He warned us that sanctuary cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco would turn into these violent hubs for illegal criminals. He told us, point blank, that if we didn't start enforcing federal immigration law, our own cities would fall. And back then, the media called him a racist. Democrats called it fear-mongering. They laughed, they mocked. Even Republicans back then were too afraid to say it out loud. But now, Look around, guys. Was he wrong? Look at Los Angeles tonight and tell me he wasn't dead on accurate. But here's the best part. President Trump isn't just saying, I told you so. He's actually doing something about it. So later in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly how President Trump's new immigration crackdown, including the remittance tax on foreign payouts, has Mexico panicking and the rioters are now screaming, and why Ron DeSantis is backing him all the way, calling this what it really is. It's an act of aggression against the United States. But first, if you thought it was outrageous that illegal immigrants are rioting in our streets, what do you hear what the president of Mexico said about this? Now, keep watching, guys, because next we're going to dive into the foreign interference nobody's willing to expose, how Claudia Sheinbaum essentially praised this chaos, condemned Trump, and just might be funding America's collapse from the outside in. Now, when you're living on Social Security or a fixed income, every dollar counts, right? Just ask Ed, age 84 years old, saving $684 a year. Huge relief for a senior like me. Or Francis Latuno. We saved $65 a month. Chapter was a big help. I love it. I absolutely love hearing this, guys. They didn't even do anything special. They just called Chapter and said, hey, how much can we save? And Chapter hooked them up. So give our friends a Chapter call right now. It's totally free. Phone number is 909-563-8279, or better yet, visit them on the web at askchapter.org/Ron. It's a totally free call and it could save you a fortune. So now let's talk about something that should be making international headlines right now. But the corporate media, they're dead silent. Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, just praised the illegal alien rioters in Los Angeles. Not condemned, not criticized, but praised. She publicly declared that the violence in Los Angeles is a form of resistance. And she even called for her so-called fellow countrymen to stand strong against what she believed, what she called Trump's oppressive immigration laws. Wow. Folks, that's a foreign leader. That's a foreign head of state openly endorsing destruction and rebellion on American soil. Think about it, okay? Imagine if President of Russia praised rioters in Washington, D.C., if Iran's applauded mobs torching New York City. Would we be calling that diplomacy? No, we would be calling that a hostile interference. And this is exactly what Claudia Sheinbaum is doing. She's doing it for one very simple reason, for money. See, guys, what they don't want you to know is that Mexico has been profiting off of illegal immigration for decades. Every year, more than $60 billion is sent from immigrants living in the United States. Many of them illegal. Are sending all this money back to Mexico. That's not pocket change, guys. Think about that. This is 5% of Mexico's entire economy, $60 billion. So when President Trump announces his 3.5% remittance tax, Sheinbaum lost it. That single policy would redirect billions of dollars away from foreign governments and back into the U.S. economy. Billions of dollars that currently flow out to another country, out of our country, tax-free every single year. Think about it, right? The more illegal immigrants cross into the United States, the more money Mexico receives from them in return. They're literally incentivized to flood our borders. It's like the Mexican government is like, hey, please go over there so you can send more money back to us. That's literally what's happening. So is it any surprise that their president is now cheering on the very people tearing apart our cities? This is not even about justice, guys. This isn't about rights. This is about a foreign government losing a massive cash pipeline and retaliating by fueling riots and chaos inside of America. And it gets worse because we're going to expose exactly how these sanctuary policies pushed by Democrats like Gavin, Newsom, and Karen Bass have created a welcome mat for criminal invasion, and why President Trump and Ron DeSantis of Florida are finally calling it what it is. So you're going to hear Ron DeSantis himself declare this is a full-blown invasion. And you're also going to see how the local leadership in California completely collapsed in the face of foreign-sponsored chaos. Guys, it's not just the hours that you work. It's the mental bandwidth that your job eats up. Think about it, right? You come home tired, numb, detached. How many hours of traffic did you sit in, right? You want to build something for yourself, but your brain is fried by 6 p.m. It's not laziness. That's the system working exactly as designed. You're not supported, you're not supposed to have time or energy to escape. But thankfully, I built the Liberty Pursuit Network to break that cycle, okay? To give you structure, to give you support and strategy so that you can finally start building a life that you actually want to wake up to. So click the link in the pinned comment down below or in the description to join the Liberty Pursuit Network, escape the 9-to-5 grind, and get your freedom back today. Now, while the media is busy calling this a protest, Governor Ron DeSantis, he's not playing that game. He just came out on national television and called the riots exactly what they are, an invasion. And he's right. He's right. Let's break it down, right? When you have thousands of illegal foreign nationals and flooding our streets, attacking our officers, looting stores, torching public property, waving a foreign flag on U.S. soil while burning an American flag, that's not a protest. That is clearly a hostile takeover. And Ron DeSantis is not mincing words. He said, and I quote him, "They're protesting the very country they supposedly want to stay in while waving flags from the countries that refuse to return to. This is an upside down world," end quote. He slammed the entire state of California, saying that they've created a culture of entitlement where illegal immigrants are treated better than the law-abiding Americans. They're even given driver's licenses, free health care, legal cover, and now they're basically being handed to the streets. So here's where it gets even more disgruntled, right? So where were Governor Gavin Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass during all of that, right? Well, were they standing with law enforcement? Were they condemning the rioters? Were they calling in the National Guard? No. They weren't doing any of that. They were on TV calling it unruly protest. Karen Bass actually said it was just a demonstration, got a little bit of out of hand at night, a little out of hand. There are buildings still smoking right now. Families are still hiding. Businesses completely wiped out. Meanwhile, Gavin Newsom is blaming Trump, claiming that the chaos only exists because federal law enforcement is provoking it. Think about it, guys. You got mobs of illegal aliens looting cities, and California's leaders are blaming the very people trying to stop it. You cannot make this up. This is the exact failure that Trump warned us about. This is what happens when your state leadership becomes so obsessed with political correctness and so blinded by ideology that they just let the city that they swore to protect burn to the ground. And now they're demanding that Trump give them back control of their own National Guard after they refused to deploy them when it mattered. But I got news for Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass. You lost control the moment that you turn your back on the people. And now President Trump stepping in to restore order and take it back. So we need to get into exactly how President Trump is responding, what forces he deployed, and how this moment could actually become a national turning point for what makes up millions of Americans to the truth. So guys, this is where everything changes, because unlike his predecessor, Donald J. Trump is not sitting this one out. So while Gavin Newsom hides behind excuses and while Karen Bass fumbles through press conferences and downplays the destruction taking place, President Trump has already taken action. He has invoked his authority under federal emergency powers to deploy both ICE and the National Guard into key hotspots across California, not to intimidate peaceful protesters, but to defend innocent Americans from lawless mobs. He's directing DHS and the DOJ to aggressively prosecute foreign nationals caught committing violence or looting. And ICE, they're on the ground too, identifying, detaining, and preparing for deportation. Because as President Trump said in his statement yesterday, this is our country, not theirs. If you come here illegally and attack our citizens, you will not stay a minute longer than it takes to put you on a plane home. Folks, this is exactly what real leadership looks like. Meanwhile, Democrats are frozen in political fear. Trump is moving with strength. He's protecting the American people, period. And you want to know something else? The American people are noticing, because what's happening in California right now, it's not just a local issue anymore. This is a national wake-up call. Polling data released this morning shows a massive surge in support of Trump's immigration stance. In fact, his net approval on immigration has flipped from minus 21 points during his first term to +1 in the aggregate right now, with some polls even showing him over +6 points. So let me repeat this, guys. Trump is now winning the immigration issue across party lines. And it's not just the overall numbers. Dig deeper, and you're going to find that more than 54% of Americans right now support deporting those who are here illegally. Over 50% support law enforcement actively searching communities for undocumented criminals. This isn't a partisan issue anymore. This is about survival. The American people are tired of being lied to, looted, and left behind. And while Democrats still try to argue over pronouns, Trump is restoring the rule of law. But this is the moment, though. This is the moment. This crisis in Los Angeles, it's also a preview of what's coming next if we do not act. Now, look, guys, if you think that this is about or only about California, you're missing the bigger picture, okay? Because what we just witnessed in Los Angeles, this is not just a one-off. This is a blueprint. It's a test run. If they can flood California, if they can burn the American flag, loot entire neighborhoods, and get away with it, what's stopping them from doing this in Chicago or New York City or Phoenix or Atlanta or Houston, right? What happens when sanctuary America becomes standard America, right? Guys, we are at a tipping point, okay? This is not just about crime in one city. It's about control of our borders, control over citizenship, control over who gets to live here and under what conditions. And the people that are pushing this chaos, they want that control. They want to overwhelm the system economically, politically, culturally, until there's no line left between citizen and invader. And here's the scariest part. It's working. That is until now. Because this moment right here, right now, guys, this is the line in the sand. And finally, we have two leaders who are not backing down. President Trump and Governor Ron DeSantis are standing tall in the firestorm, and they're calling it like it is. They're doing what others are too scared to do or too corrupt to do. Drop a quick Trump or DeSantis in the comments down below if you support what they're doing. These leaders are defending the American people. President Trump and Ron DeSantis are defending the flag. They're defending you, but they cannot do it alone. So here is your call to action. If you're watching this right now and you've had enough of the lies, the lawlessness, the destruction, it's time to pick a side. Do you stand with the people who wave foreign flags or torch cities? Or do you stand with the leaders who defend the Constitution, the law, and the country we all call home? They called it a conspiracy. They mocked us, silenced us, censored us, but now it's happening right in front of our eyes. This is not just immigration policy. This isn't just border security. This is survival. So make your voice be heard, guys. Like, subscribe, share this video, and let the world know America is waking up and we're not backing down. God bless President Trump. God bless Ron DeSantis. And God bless the United States of America. We'll see you guys on the next one.